And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here with our NBA team previews continuing. And we're going to the Windy City this time. It is the Chicago Bulls coming right back at you here. And who better to talk about the Chicago Bulls? A good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check out all the great work that he does, not just on the Bulls, because he lives right now in Chicago, but also as well everything that he's doing today as far as his hard work in the sports media, including Cavaliers Nation, Dallas Hoops Journal, Lakers Daily, a lot of good stuff there. Go ahead and check out what he's doing all over the league. It is Ashish Mathur. Great to have you here, my friend. Great to have you part of what we're doing at the Lakers Fast Break.
Hey, man. Pleasure to be on. Looking forward to our discussion.
Absolutely, indeed. So the Bulls, how can I be nice or diplomatic about this? I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm watching an episode of Stranger Things when I talk about the Bulls, because it just seems like they're just in a land of purgatory half the time. Like, it's not heaven, it's not hell, it's just right somewhere in between for the past few years. A lot of mediocrity, but I'm hopeful that the future will be better for your team, because again, as one of the major media markets in the NBA, obviously it's great if the Bulls can go ahead and be a little bit better in the limelight as far as it's concerned. When you look at the Bulls and what they did over the summer, as far as some of the things that they did, what they drafted, Noah Senge, but they do have the rising star. They do have players that might be able to go ahead and increase their value. But Josh Giddey, as of this recording, is still not yet signed. It seems like for every one step they take forward, they also take a step back. Or is that just my opinion? That's just the way I see it, maybe incorrectly.
Yeah, I mean, everything you've said so far has been spot on. They are literally stuck in the worst place to be in sports. They're not good enough to be a playoff team, but they're also not bad enough to, have a good draft pick. So I think, they've had a pretty underwhelming offseason. I mean, besides, the young players that they drafted, they have the Josh Giddey thing, which, as you said, as of this recording, hasn't been solved yet. I don't see any end in sight. He's got, less than a month left to sign that qualifying offer for $11 million. I have to give both sides credit here, because both sides, the Bulls and Giddey, are being pretty impressively stubborn. The Bulls, they are not going to offer him $30 million no matter what. And by 30 million, I mean 30 million a year. And Giddey's like, okay, well, I'm not going to play for anything less than 30 million a year. So it's been kind of impressive to see both sides just not move an inch. We're kind of trending here towards Giddey playing on his qualifying offer and, becoming an unrestricted free agent next summer and just leaving the Bulls without the team getting anything in return. So, I think I reported it's been such a long summer for the NBA, but a while back that, Giddey and his camp, they're not really happy with the Bulls right now. So that's something to pay attention to. But yeah, Bulls stuck in the middle again. They've been here pretty much ever since they traded Jimmy Butler. They had that one season in, what was that, 2022, with DeMar and Zach and Vooch and Lonzo and Caruso. They had the number one seed in the East for a bit, and then Lonzo has his, terrible injury, unfortunately, and then, they lose to the Bucks in the first round, and they've been a playing team 3 years in a row now. So I'll tell you, living in Chicago, nobody's really excited about the Bulls. More people are excited about the Bears right now. So it's I wouldn't say it's dark days for the Bulls right now, but it's nothing really to be excited about. Just mediocre.
One of the players, obviously, that the team has had to lean on once the Josh Giddey drama plays itself out, Kobe White,
Mm-hmm.
possible future with the team as well. I think that's going to make some Chicago Bulls fans nervous because his future is not set. Could he possibly be moved? Could he be moving himself at some point? Kobe White, again, uh, he's not a 100% true point guard, but he's a scoring machine, but maybe not in the dynamic shooting guard position that you really want. He's sort of like a combo guard
Mm-hmm.
that you want, but he's too good to come off the bench, especially for a team like Chicago. But is he going to be able to stay at that elite, or not elite level, but stay at that very good level that he is now?
Yeah, his situation is very interesting to monitor. 1 year left on his deal. Um, the way his contract is set up and the way the CBA is set up, the Bulls and him really can't agree to an extension right now. So he'll be a free agent next summer, and he's got all-star potential, but he won't make an all-star team just because, like you said, he's playing for the Bulls. But I think Kobe is in a very interesting spot right now in terms of what he's looking for his career. Is he just looking to be on a mediocre team like the Bulls and put up a bunch of great stats and occasional highlights here and there, or is he looking to be on a contending team that can make a run in the playoffs? So I don't know. I know a few teams tried to trade for him this summer, and the Bulls said no. The Bulls, publicly and privately love him. He's a hard worker. He's a very humble player, has improved his game each season. But it's hard to get a read on what the Bulls are doing. Like, are they building for the future with Matas, or are they building for the now with Kobe and Giddey and Vucevic? Like, it's just so hard to get a read on what they're doing. But you could make the case that Kobe is their best player right now. And so his value around the league is pretty high. But I think he'll finish the season in Chicago, and then we'll see what happens with him next summer in free agency.
You talked about a little bit about Matas Bucelas, kind of came on as a rookie in the latter half of the season last season.
Yeah.
Somebody that actually is providing a little bit of hope for Bulls fans about what his future possibly could be. And the fact that let's just be kind about last year. Last year, the rookie class was not a great rookie class. There is still the possibility Bucelas in this environment, and the fact that he's going to be most likely the starter ahead of the very disappointing Patrick Williams.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility that his game can grow to become where he will be thought of as one of the best individuals drafted for last season.
I'm super high on Matas. Super athletic, has a hunger for the game that you really want to see from somebody his age, and he is just, like you said, he's he's pretty much the only thing going right for the Bulls right now. I mean, like we just spoke of, Kobe White's their best player, and he's really talented, but Matas, he's only 20 years old. He turns 21 next month. He is just he's everything that the Bulls thought Patrick Williams would be. Patrick Williams is a very talented player, but he's never really showed that passion for the game that Matas shows. I mean, Matas is constantly training at the Berto Center when he's in Chicago. He just loves the game of basketball, and he's put on a lot of muscle this summer, which is what you want to see from a young player. And he's working on his jump shot and his finishing ability. So I'm really looking forward to see what he can do next season. He's going to be the starter. I believe he averaged like 8 points as a rookie. So, you're looking at maybe like 14, 15 points per game next season, hopefully. And like you said, he's the future, and he's the guy that, they're hoping will be their, next foundational piece in this post, Jimmy Butler, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan era.
So, with that said, how do you see everything playing out? Again, Noah Sengi is probably the biggest addition to the team coming in. A team, again, you really don't know where to pinpoint outside of maybe, again, right there in that play-in at best scenario. But how do you see this lineup trotting out? If everything went right, if absolutely everything went right, where do you see this team ending up?
If everything went right, well, it depends. Are you asking me from an ownership standpoint or from a fan standpoint? Because for Jerry Reinsdorf, all he cares about is people coming to the games. That's all he cares about. Everybody
And
knows.
that's the advantage, because Chicago has always been one of the leaders in attendance each and every year, no matter how good or bad the team is.
And they're retiring Derrick Rose's jersey this next season, and that game is the highest ticket in Bulls history. It's already been shown on all the ticket websites. So this upcoming season is gonna be great. For Jerry, he's gonna make his money through Derrick Rose retirement jersey. Matas is gonna be fun to watch. Kobe will be fun to watch. Fans will come to the game. They're gonna be a playing team. I would put a lot of money on that, and they'll be a playing team, and they'll lose in the play-in, or they'll win one playing game and then lose the next one and not make the playoffs. And our tourist will come out there at his end of the season press conference and say, "Yeah, you know what, we're kind of building for the future this season, but we exceeded expectations by making the play-in tournament again." So yeah, that's how I see this season going. I see Matas taking another step. I see Kobe taking another step. I see the Bulls trying to trade Vucevic again, trying to trade Patrick Williams. I don't think either of them has any trade value right now, so they'll probably stick with the team. But yeah, playing team, and then next summer is a big summer for them. I mean, let's just play it as Giddey signs a qualifying offer. So Giddey will be a free agent, Vucevic will be a free agent, and Kobe White will be a free agent. So that's like around $80 million in cap space that the Bulls would have. So be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, I'm thinking playing team, maybe like 39, 38 wins, something like that.
Now, in a year where, as I'm sure you know, next year is going to be a really interesting year. Like you said, a lot of money coming off the books. But what is the incentive for them to trade some of their assets now, like Vucevic, White, etc., and possibly, well, for lack of a better term, tank? Because again, you have one of the best draft classes, as we talked about the previous year not being a great draft class. You do have a great draft class from all reports coming in next season. How much would it be to their benefit for Chicago to take that route?
I think, acquiring first-round picks is important, but I also think just opening up more usage opportunities for Matas is a big. I think that would be big for them. You trade Vucevic, you're opening up maybe 7 to 8 more shots for Matas on any given night. I think that's important. But in terms of like tanking, I mean, I honestly can't. I mean, I can't even remember the last time the Bulls like actually tanked. Because they still have to live up to the Bulls brand, I guess. The Jordan, Pippen, Rose stuff, but in terms of I mean, getting more first round picks is always great for teams, and the Bulls previously under their previous regime, Gar Pax, they actually had a good history of drafting. This new regime hasn't really lived up to that billing, but man, when you're stuck in the middle like the Bulls are, I feel like just getting as many first round picks as you can is a great way to kind of restart your team, but also keeping some talented players like Kobe and Matas and Josh Giddey kind of prevents you from going into like a full tank mode. So I think that's a route that they should take. I think they should trade Vucevic for whatever they can get. And that would just open up more opportunities for Matas. And, you could probably get like a late first, early second for Vooch. And, with how deep NBA drafts are now, you can get a good player at one of those picks.
Do you see moving Kobe White as also maybe eliciting or getting more draft picks upon that? Maybe even if you're lucky, 2 first rounders?
Yeah, I mean, all I know is that a few teams tried to trade from this summer and the Bulls said no. So I don't know if that changes during the season. And like you said, his contract, he's a free agent after next season. And so if the Bulls get wind that Kobe and his camp aren't happy in Chicago, then you have to trade him because you can't lose him for nothing. So that's why I was saying earlier. His situation in Chicago is I'm closely monitoring it because, I mean, if you're averaging 20 points in the NBA and you're a starter, you're looking to make at least $30 million a year. And so, I mean, that's what Josh Giddey's trying to get, right? So the Bulls aren't going to pay both of them. So it's going to be interesting to watch for sure.
Absolutely. Once again, I'm on with Ashish Mathur. Please go ahead and follow all the great work that he's doing right now on Dallas Hoops Journal, Ahn Fire Digital, and more. Just a ton of great places you can go ahead and follow his work. If you look, Cavaliers Nation, he's there. Lakers Daily, he's there. Dallas Hoops Journal, and more. So go ahead and check out all the great work that he's doing today. But before we head on out, I do always ask, again, for an outsider's perspective. And in this case, maybe not so outsider, because you have written articles for Lakers Daily. And that is very much interesting to our audience when they see this video. So your thoughts and perceptions on the Lakers this coming season. Skinny Luka, looking good. LeBron, 41-year-old season. Then you have Austin Reeves, DeAndre Ayton, Rui Hachimura, and more playing for contracts like we talked about with some of the guys on the Bulls. Your thoughts on this? Because I know that some people have talked about the way they wanted to see the offseason go and the way the offseason ultimately ended up, where the front office is clear on their direction that they really want to go into. Of course, that is until Mark Walter officially becomes the governor at that point in time, or the owner per se at that point in time, take over ownership and all that. Your thoughts on the Lakers, where they stand and where you think they'll end up this upcoming season?
I'm super high on the Lakers, man. Honestly, like, they were the 3rd seed in the West last year without a center. And now they have a center. They needed a point of attack defender. They got one. Yeah, albeit past his prime, but Luka's not the only one who got into elite shape this summer. Marcus Smart got into elite shape as well. He's highly motivated to be back in a winning environment after having some down seasons with Memphis and then Washington. Luka, as we see in Eurobasket, looks phenomenal. He is getting by people with ease. He's playing good defense. As you said so eloquently, LeBron is LeBron. I will always say LeBron will always be, at worst, a top 15 player every season that he plays until he retires. So I'm really high on this team, man. I mean, I know not a lot of people are, but I mean, I just don't see how you can say they didn't get better. I mean, they addressed their 2 biggest needs in a center and a point of attack defender. I know losing DFS was tough, and that was just poor malpractice by Rob Pelinka, who, if people follow me, know that I am not the biggest fan of, but I digress.
No, I'm just I can't say I disagree with you. There's
Jake Laravia.
Yeah,
Jake
he's not the
Laravia.
highest on our food chain as far as us as well on the show.
Yeah, I mean, just a sidebar here, real quick. Rob Plinka literally didn't do anything this summer. Luka Doncic recruited Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton, and Austin Reeves recruited Jake Laravia. So he didn't really do much this summer. Rob Plinka stands might be saying, "Oh man, they're just being picky and hating," but to only win one championship in the LeBron AD era that's just not acceptable. And
Agreed.
to never give AD the center that he literally begged for was just I didn't agree with that. I thought that was really bad business for Rob and Jeannie, but I don't want to live in the past here. I'm really high on the Lakers this season. I think this is going to be LeBron's last season in the NBA. That's not reporting. That's just me guessing. Year 23, jersey number 23. I think it's poetic. I think he's going to go out with a bang. I'm just high on the Marcus Smart and DeAndre in additions. I mean, they're not stars by any means, but they're elite role players, and they fit the descriptions of what the Lakers needed. So the team is going to go as far as Luka and LeBron and Austin can take them, but I just really like these two additions that they made, and I like Jake Laravia. He's a better offensive player than DFS, and he's younger. He can move his feet, so he's not the elite defender that DFS is, but he can he can guard a little bit here and there. And I just think I'm super high on JJ Redick. I've been a fan of his for years. I think he is going to take the next step as a coach. He learned from his mistakes in the Minnesota series, and I think he is going to be super motivated to have a big season this year because he heard the noise, about people questioning his coaching skills in that Minnesota series, playing 5 players in the second half, benching Jackson Hayes, blah, blah, blah. But I think he's an elite competitor. Everybody knows that. So
Yeah.
I have the Lakers top 4.
Okay.
And man, you got LeBron James, Luka Doncic in the playoffs. You never know. I mean, I think the Lakers just ran into a bad matchup last year against Minnesota. And it didn't help that Luka was almost dead in game 3. I mean,
Yes.
you just think about it, man. Like the Lakers could have made the conference finals last year if Luka doesn't get sick in game 3. They lose game 3 by like 5 points or something. Probably win that game if Luka's not sick. Game 4, boy, I mean, game 4 was right there for the taking too. I mean, if you don't have the crazy camera angle with the LeBron foul and, Austin doesn't foul Jaden McDaniels for an and 1 to give him 1-point lead, like it's right there for the taking. So I'm excited about the Lakers this season. I'm going to be watching every game because I don't want to take LeBron James for granted. Top 4 seed and then playoffs. It's hard to bet against Luka and LeBron, assuming Luka doesn't get food poisoning again.
Well, I'll tell you what, I as far as the Lakers, a top 4 seed, I could see that very much happening. A lot has to go right still, though, for them to go ahead and find that pathway against 3 pretty tough teams, in my opinion, in Denver, Houston, and OKC. But there is that possibility when you have Luka and LeBron. You absolutely never know on that. With Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton, you're right. DeAndre Ayton, it's now put up or shut up. For him, if he wants to be still paid like the elite center, he has to prove it this year because the money's on the line for him. As far as him not picking up next year, if he doesn't pick up next year and becomes a free agent, that means he's done a good job. If he picks up the next year on his contract, that means he's done a lousy job this upcoming season. And with Marcus Smart, 54 is the number because 54 games is how much he's played in 2 years. His declining year before that with Boston. He's only 31, but how much effort and how much did he leave out there on the floor in his years with Boston? Because he plays with such energy and heart. I worry about that. But like you said, he's gotten into much better shape. I know a lot of people are asking to start him. I'm just kind of that 54 number pops in my head so much. I would just be
Yeah.
reluctant to do so right away.
Mhm.
Let's see how it works 20-25 games in. And if he's healthy and is out there contributing, then you obviously look to make a change because you don't want to upset the apple cart right away with
Yeah.
Rui and Austin looking for big money deals also as well.
Mhm.
Um, but I also again want to see how healthy uh, Marcus Smart can stay.
I would definitely keep the starting lineup. Luca, AR, Rui, Braun, Aiton. Because I mean, as you know, it doesn't really matter who you start; it matters who's finishing the game. If it's
Yeah,
a close
that's
game in
true.
the fourth. I think Lakers fans have grossly underrated Rui Hachimura. I mean, you can make a case that he was the third best player for the Lakers in the Timberwolves series after
Mhm.
Luca and Braun. So, and you don't want to disrupt the rhythm that those four guys already have with each other.
Yeah,
Luca, AR, Rui, and Braun. They already know how to play with each other. You don't want to add two new pieces to the starting lineup. Then it takes a little bit more time to develop chemistry and cohesion. So I would be shocked if JJ messed up with that cohesion. He's a big Rui fan. And yeah, man, I might be drinking the Kool-Aid, but I don't know. They match up really good with OKC. Like we saw that last season.
yeah.
Houston, yeah, they got KD, but they traded their first or second best perimeter defender, Dylan Brooks. So I don't know. I'm high on this team. I just feel like Luca's gonna have a huge season this year after getting fat shamed by the Mavericks. And like I said, LeBron is LeBron, and I think they're gonna have a good season, top four seed, and then playoffs. It's all about matchup. They have to match up with a team that doesn't push the pace a lot and doesn't have a dominant front court player like Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, Nasri. They just killed the Lakers, and that was pretty much the series right there. So the playoffs are all about matchups, but regular season wise, I think they're gonna have a good regular season. There's always a chance that they could trade Gabe, Dalton, and a first for somebody. I don't know who that person is, but we'll see if Rob Plink actually does something for a change.
Great synopsis right there. Great analysis from you. Again, it is Ashish Mathur. But before we head on out, Ashish, please let everyone know where they can find you, what you're covering. I know that you're doing some great work out there. Please let us know where they can find your great work at.
Yeah, so I'm on X at a Mathur 25. I'm at Dallas Hoops Journal where we cover the whole NBA, Lakers Daily, where I'm a Lakers insider, Cavs Nation, Cavs insider. So yeah, just NBA season's about to start, so it's a good time to catch up on your rumors and news, and I think it's gonna be a fun season overall for whatever team you root for.
It's funny because I haven't heard I guess, backhanded tweet or note from LeBron in a little while. I'm kind of thinking that might happen at some point in time. It's almost like clockwork with that, but expecting to see another hourglass tweet or something like that. But I think it'll go be fine for the starters. Just see how, like you said, how the season plays itself out. If Luca is, because here in Vegas, he is a top 3 candidate for an MVP. If he
Mhm.
plays like that, anything is possible with the Lakers. Again, all it takes is an injury to a team one way, an injury to another team another way, and we could see a similar pathway like Indiana
Yeah,
took last season. So
for sure.
yeah, you never, and they were one game away from getting it all from Oklahoma City. So
Yep,
definitely want to bring you back on during the season if you're willing to one of our live shows as well.
of
Absolutely.
course.
Yeah, because we're very opinionated on our channel. I'll just leave you at that. But definitely would love to hear your thoughts since you do cover the Lakers on a regular basis as well. But once again, Ashish, appreciate so much you stopping by. Any last thoughts before we head on out?
No, man, just hope like I said, hope the Lakers don't make me look stupid, in my prediction, because I've told that to a few people and they're like, yeah, man, you're drinking some crazy stuff, but none of them ever have a rebuttal to when I say, well, how did they get the third seed without a center and now they added a center? So only time will tell, man.
Only time will tell, indeed. But again, Ashish, it's been great having you on the show. Looking forward to you jumping on one of our live shows or coming back here again to go ahead and during the season giving us update on the NBA right here on the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.